Hare Krishna. I joined the Hare Krishna movement, maybe I could say when I was 21 years old. I was at the University of Leeds. I already had come from a Hindu background, so we always had lots of pictures of Krishna in the house, but there wasn't really any real clear understanding, or I hadn't read anything from Bhagavad-Gītā. And when I was 21 years old, I was very curious. At the same time, I was going through distress, I'm sure as many. As a university student, I was also looking for more happiness than the general happiness I was getting. I was a little bit of a pleasure hunter, trying different things, as students may do. And then I came across Bhagavad-Gītā as it is, in the library at University of Leeds. When I got to the second chapter, I actually was convinced that I'd read the book before I even read the whole thing. I had a feeling like, wow, there's something special here, and I felt it was, even though it was the first time I ever read the book, it felt like I've already read the whole Bhagavad-Gītā. And then one thing led to another. My friend came back to the flat that day, one of the days, about a few weeks after, when I come across Bhagavad-Gītā, and gave me a leaflet and a Facts for Life book by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He said he met some Hare Krishna, he had gave it him, and he said he had no interest whatsoever. He thought I may have an interest, so he gave me the book, and then I started to go to the meetings. And then one thing led to another, and then on Friday evenings we would put Garanga posters on the lamppost, distribute leaflets, and as well as leading like a jewel life, doing material things as students get up to. I was also spending a little bit of separate time doing something in Krishna consciousness. Gradually one thing led to another, and I came back to Leicester, started going to Leicester Temple. I used to go to the Scottish Temple, Scotland Temple, and then years after I ended up joining full time and became a monk, and here I am today. Hare Krishna. I took initiation in 2011 on my 30th birthday. The initiation meant everything to me. For me, it was two things. One, it was my whole connection with the Guru Parampara. I was very excited to the fact to think that I was actually a disciple of a disciple of a disciple of a disciple of Narada Muni, Vedavyas. But what particularly has touched me in this initiation, that I was initiated, that I have a personal connection with a living spiritual master. And I also feel that the name I was given was and is Guru Das, so it's a special name, and I feel I need to fulfill the purport of becoming a Das of the Guru, the spiritual disciple of the spiritual master, servant. And so for me the initiation was the biggest blessing, and it forces me to actually live a higher standard than what my mind actually wants. Very special. Hare Krishna. So I've done a range of a few services in my time. At Bhaktivedanta Mana, I've been involved in book distribution, Harinam, and Namahata preaching, and also house programs. Now I'm involved in a couple more Namahata programs. One program we're starting and launching is Mind, Body, Soul UK, where we're trying to get many newcomers to experience the chanting and the philosophy. What I'm also doing right now is overlooking the Sunday program, that we have a nice flow of different classes, kirtan, and things happening in the temple room, and also activities outside of the temple room on Sunday. One particular thing I'm also now looking into is for the congregation in the evening, just before Gaura Arti, reading Krishna book and educating them more about A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. And I still do a little bit of book distribution and the occasional Harinam, which I need to do a little bit more of. Hare Krishna. So what keeps me as a devotee? What keeps me going? I think it's very hard to actually get to the bottom of this. It's very difficult to actually know what inner motives I have. And reason. One thing I'll be very honest is I have an understanding a little bit of how difficult so-called material life is. Srila Prabhupada once said that spiritual life is difficult, material life is impossible. So I feel like I've done my fair share. I may have done a lot less than everybody else, but I've done my fair share in the so-called material realm, working in offices, factories, doing material activities, sense gratification, and I feel that it's all disappointing, and Krishna consciousness is the only solution. On a positive note for Krishna consciousness, apart from it being taking me away from distress, I feel that the happiness one gets from Krishna consciousness, the blissful states one can get, it's inconceivable for a materialist. And the more I'm experiencing Krishna consciousness, I feel like there's no turning back. But there's times where I don't even necessarily have the high feelings of Krishna consciousness, and I don't even really understand what is the distress of the materialist. But one thing is, it's like the mafia. Once you're in, you're in. There's no way out. And once you just know certain things about the material world, you know certain things about the Supreme Lord, how rare this chance and opportunity is to go back to the spiritual world. When you understand who A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is and everything he's done for us, and personally everything my spiritual master has done for me and what he expects from me, it's not so easy to just walk out from. So I'm trapped and I'm grateful. Hare Krishna. My two main realizations are that no matter what consciousness you are in, if you just chant and hear and do 16 rounds attentively, your whole consciousness is guaranteed to change, and one is immunized, at least for the day, from the material energy, and one actually will become blissful and have Krishna consciousness services. My other realization is that when the spiritual master is genuinely pleased with you, then you've reached the highest perfection and you naturally become joyful and satisfied. If I could go back in time and give my younger self advice of what to do in the Hare Krishna movement, one thing I would certainly say is do not take the mind seriously. First thing in the morning, get all of your rounds done and then deal with life. If you have any desires, if you have any things you want to do them. But first, do the 16 rounds and then deal with life and then make a decision. Never make a decision without doing the 16 rounds. That's what you should do. That's what I tell myself. So regarding the forms of Krishna, I'd like to be most attracted to the Vrindavan forms of Krishna. However, I feel myself right now most attracted to two particular forms. One is the forms of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alongside with his brother Lord Nityananda. I just feel that they're so merciful that it's just irresistible. There's just no reason not to worship them. They've just completely captured everybody's hearts. that they just deserve the worship, because they don't have anything they want from us apart from to just give us mercy. So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And the other form of the Lord I find that I'm close to or have some attraction to is the Lord in Dwarika pastimes and the Lord on the battlefield, the older Krishna. I think that, I personally think, maybe because I've been brought up with pastimes and Mahabharata pastimes as a young kid, that I sort of could relate to Krishna more in his older pastimes, especially like on the battlefield. I think definitely the most interesting thing about the Hare Krishna movement is personalism. And A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada has done something unique. When you compare different faiths, different saints, different people that have been preaching about God consciousness, but here Prabhupada is giving actual information of who God is, and explaining that it's not some type of God within Krishna's body. It is not some type of symbolic meaning behind Krishna. No. God is a person. His name is Krishna. He has 2 eyes, nose, mouth, face, arms, legs. But he doesn't have a body like ours. He has a transcendental body. And we can actually personally hug the Lord, and we will have an opportunity, if not in this lifetime, to go back to Krishna and personally hug him and have the Supreme Lord in our arms. Hare Krishna.